I wasn't always this confident, healed person that you're hearing right now. There was a time when the weight of my past threatened to pull me under. A time when my inner child's wounds were still fresh and raw. Picture this. I carried an invisible backpack with me everywhere I went. This backpack, though unseen, was filled with unresolved issues, unhealed scars, and unspoken words from my childhood. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with rocks. Over time, this load becomes a part of you. It's heavy, but you've grown accustomed to it. You've adjusted your stride, your posture, and even your mindset to accommodate this weight. That was me, only my backpack was filled not with rocks, but with the weight of my past. These wounds, hidden in my invisible backpack, started to shape the person I was becoming. They seeped into every facet of my life, influencing my relationships, my choices, and my self-perception. I found myself reacting to situations based on past experiences rather than the present moment. I was constantly on guard, ready to defend myself from perceived threats that were often just shadows of my past. Even when I tried to build relationships, I found myself pushing people away, afraid they might add more weight to my already overloaded backpack. I was so focused on protecting myself from further harm that I didn't realize I was also blocking out love, connection, and growth. The impact of my unhealed childhood wounds was undeniable. They were holding me back from truly living, from reaching my full potential. They were dictating my actions, my thoughts, and my feelings. I was not in control, my wounds were. That's when I realized I was more than the weight I was carrying. I was more than the sum of my past experiences. I was more than my wounds. So I made a decision to unpack this invisible backpack, and I'm here to share this journey with you. I want to show you that it's possible to heal, to grow, to live a life free from the weight of the past. The first step to healing, they say, is recognition. And boy, was that a journey. Imagine walking around with a backpack filled with rocks. You've been carrying it for so long that you've forgotten it's there. That's what childhood wounds are like. They're burdens we carry unknowingly. But as we grow older and become more self-aware, we start to feel the weight of this backpack. We realize that something's been holding us back. Recognition is that moment when we finally decide to take off the backpack and look inside. It's when we muster the courage to acknowledge that these rocks, these past wounds, have been weighing us down. Now, recognition isn't about blaming. It's about understanding. It's about looking at those rocks and saying, yes, you've been a part of my journey. Yes, you've shaped who I am, but you no longer define my path. I remember the first time I recognized one of my childhood wounds. It was like unearthing a time capsule filled with memories I had tucked away long ago. It was a fear of rejection that had been instilled in me when I was just a kid. I was always the last one picked for teams during gym class, and that rejection stung. I carried that sting into my adulthood, always fearing I wouldn't be chosen, wouldn't be good enough. The moment I recognized this, it felt like a weight had been lifted. I understood why I had certain fears and insecurities, and that understanding was empowering. It gave me a sense of control over my life, over my decisions, over my future. Recognizing our wounds isn't an easy process. It requires introspection, honesty, and a whole lot of courage. But it's a crucial step in our healing journey. It allows us to understand why we feel the way we do, why we react the way we do. And this understanding paves the way for acceptance, forgiveness, and eventually, healing. Recognition was the first step, but what came next was even more critical. Healing isn't a straight line, it's a labyrinth full of twists and turns. Journeying through the healing process is like navigating an intricate maze. There are moments of clarity and progress followed by periods of uncertainty and stagnation. It's not always linear or straightforward, but let's not forget, even in a labyrinth, every step, every turn brings you closer to the center, to the heart of healing. Often we may feel like we're backtracking, that we're not making any progress at all. We might stumble upon old wounds that we thought we had healed, only to realize that they're still tender. It's during these times that we must remember that healing is not a race. It's not about how quickly we can get to the end, but rather, it's about the journey itself. Healing is a process that requires a lot of patience. It's about learning to be gentle with ourselves, to give ourselves the time and space we need to mend. It's about understanding that it's okay to have setbacks, to have days where we don't feel okay. What matters is that we keep going, that we continue to put one foot in front of the other. Self-love plays a crucial role in this journey. It's about recognizing our worth, about knowing that we deserve to heal, to be happy. It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness and compassion that we would extend to a friend. As we navigate this labyrinth of healing, we will have setbacks, but we will also have breakthroughs. There will be moments when we feel like we've hit a dead end, but there will also be moments when we find a path that leads us closer to healing. These moments of triumph, no matter how small, are a testament to our resilience, to our strength. Healing is a journey that we embark on not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. It's about understanding that we are works in progress, and that's okay. It's about learning to love ourselves in all our flawed human beauty. The healing process was tough, but it was worth every step. You don't go to a construction site without tools, do you? Same goes for healing. If you're on a journey of healing, you're essentially constructing a new, healthier version of yourself. And to do that, you need the right tools. Some of these tools are external, like therapy, while others are internal, like mindfulness and self-care. Let's dive into these a bit more. Therapy is a powerful tool. It's like having a professional construction worker guiding you through the process. They're there to help you understand your blueprint, identify weak spots, and reinforce them. My therapist was my construction foreman, guiding me through the process of healing. Then there's mindfulness. This is your power drill. It allows you to penetrate deep into your thoughts and feelings, to understand them better. Mindfulness is about being present, fully engaged with what's happening around you. It's not about quieting the mind, but rather understanding it. My journey with mindfulness started with 5 minutes of meditation a day, and it has been a game changer. Journaling is your measuring tape. It helps you track your progress, and it's a safe space to express your thoughts and feelings without judgment. I started a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things I was grateful for each day. Over time, I noticed a shift in my perspective, focusing more on the positive aspects of my life. Self-care is your hard hat. It protects you. It's about ensuring your well-being. Sometimes it's a bubble bath and a good book. Other times it's saying no to things that drain you. For me, self-care involved regular exercise and ensuring I got enough sleep. These tools aren't a one-size-fits-all solution. What works for one person might not work for another. It's about finding what resonates with you and incorporating it into your healing process. Remember, healing isn't a linear process. There will be ups and downs, but with the right tools, you can navigate through it. And always remember, it's okay to ask for help. You're not meant to do this alone. These tools were my lifeline during my healing journey, and I believe they can be yours too. And here I am standing at the end of the tunnel, bathed in light. Imagine, if you will, a world where your past no longer dictates your present, where the wounds of yesteryears transform into the wisdom of today. That's the kind of metamorphosis healing brings. Healing childhood wounds is like going through a rebirth. You emerge as a butterfly from a cocoon, vibrant and ready to soar. You realize, perhaps for the first time, that you are not your past. You are not your wounds. You are, in fact, the strength that overcame them. The benefits of this healing journey are truly transformative. It's like waking up from a long sleep and seeing the world in vibrant colors for the first time. You learn to love yourself, not despite your past, but because of it. You become more compassionate, more understanding, more patient. You learn to set boundaries, to say no when needed, and to say yes to things that bring you joy. But perhaps the most significant change is the peace that comes with healing. It's a kind of tranquility that can't be bought or bartered. It's the peace of knowing you've faced your demons, wrestled them, and came out victorious. It's the peace of knowing you've broken the cycle, that your past no longer has the power to hurt you. And this, my friends, is not a journey you have to embark on alone. There are countless resources, tools, and people ready to help, to guide, to support. All you have to do is take the first step. It may seem daunting, but remember, every journey begins with a single step. So I urge you to take that step. Unpack your invisible backpack. Face the past, heal your wounds, and reclaim your life. It's a journey worth embarking on, a journey that leads to freedom, peace, and an abundance of love for yourself. Healing is possible, and I'm living proof of that. So are you ready to unpack your invisible backpack?